It was great to get Coach back and have AZ back and actually have 8 players to be able to play. It's a great facility, first time we've ever been here, a terrific crowd, and I thought we played really well from start to finish. There was probably a few minutes in the third quarter where our offense and maybe our defense wasn't as good, but for the most part our defense was really good, and we were able to get a lot of good shots, a lot of good looks. We had an advantage inside. Dork and Aaliyah played well, and it was nice to have AZ coming off the bench and getting her feet wet again for the first time since December 4th. So we're very happy. I think this is probably my swan song for the media room, so you guys better ask any questions you want right now, because I'm done. So.
Carl.
Chris, can you take us through the timing of AZ's return, when it was decided she would return, and the plan, for her tonight? Was it around 20 minutes? Did it really matter how many minutes? Just can you take us through that whole sequence?
Well, there's a return to play, and that really is determined by our strength coach, our athletic trainer, doctors, and AZ. And she's been working up to doing that, adding more minutes at practice. And you can't go from 0 to 100. So there's been a progression. So more load, more minutes at practice. That's what we talk about. It's not only always minutes. It's about the load, the amount of pounding, and that's for someone else to tell you the details of that. But so it's been a progression, and she's been really good. She's looked really good, and it's a matter of getting more comfortable, and she's done that. And going into today, looking at it, we thought this was going to be the day, but we had to base it on how she felt the last 2 days and then how she felt today at practice, and it was a go.
To get Gino back today after about a week slipping away from the team.
Felt like a month. It did. It really felt longer than a week. It really did.
How did you see the players just react to having him back on the sideline?
Oh, they were excited. I think it just seeing him on the bus, and I just think it gave them a sense of, they were just happy to see him, knowing that he was feeling well and well enough to be there. And got a chance. We got down here last night. We had a meal, and they welcomed him back. And so I just think it's they've handled it really well, but I think they're really happy that he's back. They're happy that my whistle is no longer going to be, I don't have to have it at practice anymore, and I'm happy about that too.
Chris, along those lines, especially with AZ coming back, I know you mentioned how resilient this team is and how much they fought, but did you feel any was there a bit of extra lightness or a little extra energy, since it seemed like it's sort of getting closer to back to normal?
Well, I think the fact that we hadn't played since last Thursday, there was probably a little bit of energy with that, a new building, coach back. There were a lot of things, knowing that we had AZ back and Amari, and we, just that we had 8 people. I think there was a sense of excitement. But these guys have actually have come prepared to play for the entire year. And last week on the road, they were ready. I thought we came out. There was never an issue of energy. So I don't think that's ever been our issue this year. I think maybe sometimes we weren't as smart as we needed to be, and I don't even know how many turnovers we had, but 10? 10? Ooh, who would have thought I'd celebrate 10? But they've just been, they're a good group. They're really a fun group to be around, and I think once we get Carol back and Ayana back in the mix, it's just going to add to where we're going to, what we're working toward. So I just think everybody's in a good place now.
Hi, Sadie. How did you see, or how did you think AZ did out there, especially for a player who prides herself on her movement on the floor? Did you feel like she was moving well, all things considered? And how did you think she shot well too?
Yeah, no, it's funny. If AZ misses, I'm shocked. Like, I think every time, both her and Lou, I think every time the ball leaves their hand, it's going in. So when she misses, I'm like, ooh. She's probably like that too. Like, ooh, haven't had that happen. But I thought she did great. I mean, for her first time out, I don't think you know it unless, like, if someone turned on the TV and they were watching the game, I'm not sure they would know that she hadn't played since December 4th. Just by, she was defending. She's not a one-way player. I think people notice and know about her shooting, but for cutting, her defense, like she does, and she's a good passer, so she's a more all-around player than I think people maybe give her credit for, because she's such a great shooter.
CD, going, off of that, with AZ and the performance she had, going on that, 7-0 personal run at one point in the fourth, just, how special was it to see her just, immediately be back at that level in her first game back, and how big of a boost did that provide you guys off the bench?
Oh, I think just having her back in the game provides a boost, because that's somebody the opposing team is going to have to concentrate on. So, and just to have her, we were running some actions to try to get her some looks, not force it, but just to try to get her, some looks at the basket, and she was able to, because they were guarding her so hard, she was able to back cut and score around the rim. It was just, I didn't really think about that she had 7 in a row, to be honest, because at that point we really wanted just to score or get a good shot with each possession. But I'm sure, I know the kids were excited.
CD, when did you know Gino was coming back tonight? And did he seem his normal self to you on the bench as he was before this cap went?
I wasn't really sure. I thought he was going to come to practice yesterday, and he didn't. But then he said he was coming on a trip. So then he got on the bus, and that was kind of when I knew. But I just wanted to make sure that he was in a good place, and that he should come back, and that he was ready to come back. And he assured me and everyone else that he was. So it wasn't a total surprise, but it was like, okay.
Chris Dorka double tonight, 1,000 career rebounds. I know a lot of them were at Ohio State. So can you talk about what she has added since she came back from broken thumb?
Well, I think with each game, she's gaining more confidence, and I think in tonight's game, what stood out to me is that she scored in different ways. She made it outside shots, she drove to the basket, she finished, made a couple post moves. Just the variety and the versatility I think she showed today, and we need that that gives us another dimension with her and Aaliyah both being able to score in different ways, not just with their back to the basket, but also being able to face up, also being able to put the ball on the floor. And then defensively, their two post players are really, really good offensive rebounders, and I thought we did a great job on them. I don't even know what their number. I think 20 may have ended up with 1. She ended up with 2, but I thought we did a pretty good job of both Dorka and Aaliyah controlling the backboard, and then I thought we were helping on some of their other players. But when Dorka plays like that, we're going to need that, obviously. In our league, it's a little bit different because obviously, but with DePaul, they have a big post player. But a lot of our other teams in our league play more 5 out, and so we have to have players that are able to do more than one thing. So I think her versatility was really something that stood out to me today.
Anything else for CD? Roger?
You just talk about the poise too that Lou showed today, picking up the 3 fouls, but then, playing pretty well the rest of the game. It seemed like she showed that veteran leadership that you've talked about a few times.
She made some big shots. I mean, and when you get your 3rd foul, you have a couple ways you can go. And they were going at her, both her and Aaliyah. So you have a couple ways to go. You can kind of become tentative on the defensive end because you don't want to foul, and then become tentative on the offensive end. But I thought, she knocked in a couple of really big shots that put us on the run, and I think that was, key in that stretch. The person you haven't asked about, and I think, we go as she goes, is Nika Mule. Very hard to think about taking her out of the game. She defends the best player on the other team. She runs our offense. She doesn't think she fouls, although that one was a foul. But I don't think we have the energy that we have, or we play at the pace that we play at without Nika. And she may not score, although I think today she scored, get to the hoop, but I think she is the catalyst for our team.
Was there also a little bit of a relief that Aaliyah came back really solid? I mean, you don't know how an ankle is going to react. Or maybe you just saw her play well in practice and knew she'd come back. But
Yeah, she's another one. I think you wouldn't have known that she had a little tweak in her foot based on how she played today, especially when she started to drive the floor. Luckily, and then she did a great job. She found AZ in the corner. I think it was AZ in the corner. So yeah, no, I'm sure she'll get treatment. That's part of it. You know, part of what the responsibility of an athlete is. They have to take care of their bodies, their minds. So when they're not practicing, there's a lot that goes into it in the training room, in the weight room, getting sleep, doing all that stuff. And I think they do a really good job of taking care of that and working with our athletic trainer Janelle and with Hootie, just trying to give us the best chance for them to be healthy.